Chapter 21. Arthur's Seat. Friday 15th, July 1998. Rainkiller Street, Edinburgh. Dexter showered in the shabby, mildewed bathroom, then put on last night's shirt. It smelt of sweat and cigarettes, so he put the suit jacket on too, to hold the odor in, then squeezed toothpaste onto his index finger and polished his teeth. He joined Emma Morley and Tilly Killick in the kitchen, beneath a greasy, wall-sized poster of Truffaut's Jules et Jim. Jeanne Moreau stood over them laughing as they ate an awkward bowel-tweaking breakfast. Brown toast with soya spread, some kind of aggregate muesli, because this was a special occasion. Emma had washed out the continental-style espresso maker, the kind that always seemed to be moldy inside, and after the first cup of oily black liquid, Dexter began to feel a little bit better. He sat quietly, listening to the flatmates' self-consciously larky banter, their big spectacles worn as a badge of honor, and had the vague feeling that he had been taken hostage by a rogue fringe theater company. Perhaps it had been a mistake to stay on after all. Certainly it had been a mistake to leave the bedroom. How was he supposed to kiss her with Tilly Killick sitting there babbling on? For her part, Emma found herself increasingly maddened by Tilly's presence. Did she have no discretion at all? Sat there with her chin cupped in her hand, playing with her hair and sucking her teaspoon. Emma had made the mistake of showering with an untested bottle of Body Shop strawberry gel, and was painfully aware of smelling like a fruit yogurt. She badly wanted to go and rinse it off, but didn't dare leave Dexter alone with Tilly, her dressing gown gaping open on her best underwear, a red plaid all in one body from Knickerbox. She could be so obvious sometimes. To go back to bed, that's what Emma really wanted, and to be partially dressed once again, but it was too late for that now. They were all too sober. Keen to get away, she wondered aloud what they should do today, the first day of their graduate lives. "We could go to the pub," suggested Dexter weakly. Emma groaned with nausea. "Go for lunch?" said Tilly. "No money." "The movies, then," offered Dexter. "I'll pay." "Not today. It's lovely out. We should be outside." "Okay, the beach. North Berwick." Emma shrank from the idea. It would mean wearing a swimsuit costume in front of him, and she wasn't strong enough for that kind of agony. "I'm useless on the beach." "Okay, then what?" "We could climb up Arthur's Seat," said Tilly. "Never done it," said Dexter casually. Both girls looked at him, open-mouthed. "You've never climbed Arthur's Seat?" "Nope." "You've been in Edinburgh 4 years, and you've never—" "I've been busy." "Doing what?" said Tilly. "Studying anthropology," said Emma, and the two girls cackled unkindly. "Well, we must go," said Tilly, and a brief silence followed as Emma's eyes blazed a warning. "I haven't got proper shoes," said Dexter. "It's not K2, it's just a big hill. I can't climb it in brogues." What is brogues? "You'll be fine, it's not hard. In my suit." "Yes, we could take a picnic." But Emma could feel the enthusiasm starting to slip away until Tilly finally spoke. "Actually, you two should probably go without me. I've got stuff to do." Emma's eyes flicked towards her, catching the end of a wink, and Emma thought she might very easily lean across and kiss her. "All right, then let's do it," said Dexter, brightening too. And 15 minutes later, they were stepping outside into the hazy July morning, the Salisbury Crags looming over them at the end of Rainkiller Street. "We're really climbing up there. A child could do it, trust me." In the supermarket on Nicholson Street, they shopped for a picnic, both a little uncomfortable in the strangely domestic rite of sharing a shopping basket, both self-conscious about their choices. Were olives too fancy? Was it funny to take Earn Brew, ostentatious to buy champagne? They loaded Emma's army surplus rucksack with supplies. Emma's jokey, Dexter's would-be sophisticated, then doubled back towards Holyrood Park and began the ascent along the base of the escarpment. Dexter tagged along behind, sweaty in his suit and slippery shoes, a cigarette held between his lips, his head his head thumping with red wine in the morning's coffee. He was vaguely aware that he should be taking in the splendor of the view, but instead his eyes were fixed on Emma's bottom in faded blue 501s, cinched in tight at the waist, above black high-top Converse All-Stars. "You're very nimble. Like a mountain goat, me. I used to go hiking a lot at home when I was in my Kathy phase, out on the wild and windy moors. Dead soulful I was. I cannot live without my life. I cannot live without my soul." Half listening, Dexter assumed that she was quoting something, but was distracted by a strip of dark sweat forming between her shoulder blades, a glimpse of a bra strap at the slip neck of her t-shirt. He had another momentary image of last night in bed when she looked round at him as if warning him off the thought. "How you doing there, Sherpa Tenzing?" "I'm fine. I wish there was some grip on these shoes, that's all." She was laughing now. "What's funny?" "Just I've never seen anyone smoke and hike at the same time. What else am I meant to be doing?" "Looking at the view." "A view's a view's a view." "Is that Shelley or Wordsworth?" "Wordsworth." He sighed and stopped, his hands on his knees. "Okay, fine, I'll look at the view." Turning, he saw the council estates, the spires and crenellations of the old town beneath the great grey hulk of the castle. Then beyond that, in the haze of the warm day, the Firth of Forth. Dexter had a general policy of not appearing impressed by anything, but it really was a magnificent view, the one he recognized from picture postcards. He wondered why he had never seen it before. "Very nice," he allowed himself, and they kept climbing towards the summit, wondering what would happen when they got there. Well, we have to read another. That was way too short. Hi, everybody. I'm doing amazing. I hope you're doing well, Oscar. So beautiful. What? Good morning. Have to. Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, that was so short, but I've only been on 7 minutes. Thanks for the hearts. That makes me happy. And what fate? That's such an interesting way to ask someone what religion, if they're religious. What fate? That's really cool, actually. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Thanks for listening. Chapter 22. Also, I really hope you're good, Oscar. Sorry, I had to make sure. Okay. Chapter 22. The second anniversary unpacking. Saturday, 15th, July 2006. I'm like, sorry, I'm just making sure. I think I'm gonna return this dress. I don't like it. Okay, sorry. North London and Edinburgh. At 6:15 that evening, he pulls down the metal shutters of the Belleville Cafe and snaps the heavy padlock into place. Nearby, Maddie waits for him, and he takes her hand as they walk together towards the tube station. Finally, he has moved house, recently taking possession of a pleasant but unshowy 3-bedroomed maisonette in Gospel Oak. Maddie lives in Stockwell, a distance away at the other end of the Northern Line, and sometimes it makes sense for her to stay over, but not tonight. There has been no melodrama or portentousness about, but tonight he would like to have some time by himself. He has set himself a task tonight, and he can only do it alone. They say goodbye outside Tuffnell Park Tube. Maddie is a little taller than him, with long, straight black hair, and she has to stoop a little to kiss him goodbye. "Call me later if you want." "I might do. And if you change your mind, you want me to come up, I'll be fine." "All right then, see you tomorrow maybe?" "I'll call you." They kiss goodnight again, briefly but fondly, and he carries on walking down the hill towards his new home. He has been seeing Maddie, the cafe's manager, for 2 months now. They have yet to tell the other staff officially, but suspect they probably know already. It has not been a passionate affair, more a gradual acceptance over the last year of an inevitable situation. To Dexter, it has all been a little too practical and matter-of-fact, and he is privately a little uncomfortable about the transition that Maddie has made from confidant to lover. It casts a shadow over the relationship that it should have originated in such gloom. But it's true, they get on very well, everyone says so, and Maddie is kind and sensible and attractive, long and slim, and a little awkward. She has ambitions to be a painter, and Dexter thinks she is good. Small canvases hang in the cafe and are sold occasionally. She's also 10 years younger than he is. He imagines Emma rolling her eyes at this, but she is wise and smart, and has been through her own share of unhappiness. An early divorce, various unhappy relationships. She is quite self-contained and thoughtful, and has a melancholy air about her which suits him at present. She is also compassionate and fiercely loyal. It was Maddie who saved the business during the time when he was drinking the profits and not turning up, and he is grateful to her for this. Jasmine likes her. They get on well enough, for the moment at least. It's a pleasant Saturday evening, and he walks on alone through residential back streets until he reaches the flat, the basement and ground floor of a red brick mansion block not too far from Hampstead Heath. The flat retains the smell and the wallpaper of the elderly couple who lived there before, and he has only unpacked a few essentials: the TV and DVD, the stereo. It's a frumpy kind of place, at the moment anyway, with its dado rails, an appalling bathroom, and its many other small rooms, but Sylvie insists that it has great potential, once they've knocked the walls through and sanded the floors. There's a great room for when Jasmine comes to stay, and a garden too. A garden. For a while he joked about paving it over, but has now decided that he is going to learn to garden, and has bought a book on the subject. Somewhere deep in his consciousness he has become aware of the concept of the shed. Soon it will be golf and pajamas in bed. Once inside and past the boxes that clutter the hall, he takes a shower, then goes into the kitchen and orders Thai food to be delivered. In the living room, he lies on the sofa and begins to compile a mental list of the things he must do before he can begin his task. For a small, diverse circle of people, a previously innocuous date has taken on a melancholy weight, and there are certain calls that must now be made. He starts with Sue and Jim, Emma's parents in Leeds. The conversation is pleasant and straightforward enough, and he tells them about the business, how Jasmine is getting on at school, repeating the conversation twice for both the mother and the father. Well, that's all the news, really, he tells Sue. Just to say, thinking of you today and hope you're all right. You too, Dexter. Look after yourself, won't you? She says, her voice unsteady, then hangs up. Dexter continues to work through the list, speaking to his sister, his father, his ex-wife, his daughter. The conversations are brief, ostentatiously lighthearted, and don't mention the significance of the day, but the subtext is always the same. I'm fine, he phones Tilly Killick, but she is mawkish and over-emotional. But how are you really, sweetheart? I mean, really? Are you by yourself? Are you okay by yourself? Do you want us to come over? Irritated, he reassures her, then ends the call as quickly and politely as he can. He calls Ian Whitehead in Taunton, but he's putting the kids to bed, the little sods, and it's not a good time. Ian promises he'll call back in the week, and maybe even come down and see him sometime, and Dexter says that it's a great idea, in full knowledge that it will never happen. There's a general sense, as in all the calls, that the worst of the storm is past. Dexter will probably never speak to Ian Whitehead again, and this is fine too, for both of them. He eats supper with the television on, hopping channels and restricting himself to the solitary beer that came free with the delivery. But there's something saddening about eating alone, hunched over the sofa in this strange house, and for the first time that day he feels a rush of despair and loneliness. These days, grief seems like walking on a frozen river. Most of the time he feels safe enough, but there's always that danger that he will plunge through. Now he hears the ice creak beneath him, and so intense and panicking is the sensation that he has to stand for a moment, press his hands to his face, and catch his breath. He exhales slowly through his fingers, then rushes into the kitchen and throws dirty plates into the sink with a clatter. He has a sudden, overwhelming need to drink, and to keep on drinking. He finds his phone. "What's up?" says Maddie, concern in her voice. "Just a little panic, that's all. Are you sure you don't want me to come up?" I'm fine now. I can get a taxi, I can be with you, and no, really, I'd rather be alone." He finds that the sound of her voice is enough to calm him, and he reassures her once more, then says goodnight. When he is sure that there is no conceivable reason for anyone to call him back, he turns the phone off, draws the blinds, goes upstairs, and begins. The spare bedroom contains nothing but a mattress, an open suitcase, and 7 or 8 cardboard boxes, 2 of which are labeled Emma 1 and Emma 2, in her own handwriting in thick black marker pen. The last of Emma's possessions was from his flat. The boxes contain notebooks, letters, wallets of photographs, and he carries them down to the living room and spends the rest of the evening unpacking them, sorting the meaningless ephemera, ancient bank statements, receipts, old takeaway menus, all of which he stuffs into a black bin liner, from the stuff he will send to her parents, and the items he would like to keep for himself. The process takes some time, but is carried out in an entirely dry-eyed, pragmatic way, and he stops only occasionally. He avoids reading the journals and notebooks with their scraps of youthful poetry and plays. It seems unfair. He imagines Emma wincing over his shoulder or scrambling to knock them from his hand, and instead he concentrates on the letters and photographs. The way the material has been packed means that he works through it in reverse chronological order, digging back through the strata, starting with their years together as a couple, back through the 90s, and eventually at the bottom of box 2 into the 80s. First there are dummy covers from the Julie Driscoll novels, correspondence with her editor, Marcia, press cuttings. The next layer reveals postcards and photos of Paris, including a snap of the famous Jean-Pierre Dussolier, dark-skinned and very handsome, the one that got away. In an envelope with metro tickets, folded menus, a rental agreement in French, he stumbles on something that's so startling and affecting that he almost drops it on the floor. It's a Polaroid taken in Paris during the summer of Emma laying naked on a bed, legs crossed at the ankle, her arms stretched languidly above her head. The photo is taken on a drunken, amorous evening after watching Titanic in French on a black and white TV, and even though he found the photograph beautiful, she had snatched it from him and insisted that she would destroy it. The fact that she kept the Polaroid in secret and secreted it away should please him, suggesting as it does that Emma liked the photo more than she let on. But it also slams him up against her absence once more, and he has to take a moment to catch his breath. He places the Polaroid back in the envelope and sits in silence to gather himself. The ice creaks beneath him. He continues. From the late 90s, he finds an assortment of birth announcements, wedding invitations, and orders of service, an oversized farewell card from the staff and pupils of Cromwell Road Comprehensive School, and stuffed in the same envelope a series of letters from someone called Phil, which are so sexually fixated and pleading that he quickly folds them up and stuffs them back into the envelope. There are flyers from Ian's comedy improv nights and some tedious paperwork from solicitors concerning the purchase of the flat in E17. He finds a selection of witless picture postcards that he sent while traveling in the early 90s. Amsterdam is mad. Dublin rocks. He is reminded of the letters he got in return, wonderful little packets of pale blue air mail, paper that he rereads occasionally and is embarrassed afresh by his callow 24-year-old self. Venice completely flooded. There's a copy of the photostat program of Cruel Cargo, a play for young people by Emma Morley and Gary Cheadle, and then old essays, dissertations on Don's women and Eliot and fascism, a pile of postcard reproductions marked with the tiny holes from the pinboards of student houses. He finds a cardboard tube and in it, rolled up tight, Emma's graduation certificate, untouched, he imagines, for nearly 20 years. He verifies this by looking at the date, 14th July 1988, 18 years ago yesterday. In a torn paper wallet, he finds the graduation photographs and flicks through them without any great nostalgia. Because the photos were taken by Emma herself, she barely features in them, and he has forgotten many of the other students anyway. She was part of a different crowd in those days. Still, he is struck by the youth of the faces and also by the fact that Tilly Killick has the power to annoy him, even in a photo at a distance of 19 years. A snap of Callum O'Neill, skinny and self-satisfied, is swiftly torn in two and plunged deep into the bin bag. But at some point, she must have handed the camera to Tilly because there is finally a sequence of Emma by herself, pulling mock heroic faces in mortar, board, and gown, her spectacles perched bookishly on the end of her nose. He smiles, then gives a groan of amused shame as he finds a photo of his old self. He's pulling an absurd male model's face, sucking in his cheekbones, and pouting while Emma wraps one arm around his neck, her face close to his eyes. Oh. Her face close to his, eyes wide, one hand pressed to her cheek, as if starstruck. After this photo was taken, they had gone to the graduation tea party, the pub, and then to the party at that house. He can't remember who lived there, only that the house was packed and virtually destroyed, the party spilling out onto the street and the back garden. Hiding from the chaos, they had found a spot on a sofa in the living room together and stayed rooted there all evening. This was where he had kissed her for the first time. He imagines the graduation photo once again, Emma behind the thick black frames, her hair bottle red and badly cut, a little plumper in the face than he remembers her now, mouth split in a wide smile, her cheeks pressed to his. He puts the photo to one side and looks at the next. It is the morning after. They are sitting together on a mountainside, Emma in 501, cinched at the waist, in black Converse All-Stars, Dexter a little way off in the white shirt and black suit that he had worn the day before. The summit of Arthur's Seat was disappointingly crowded with tourists and other graduating students, all way-faced and shaky from last night's celebrations. Dex and M raised their hands sheepishly in greeting to a few acquaintances, but tried to keep their distance, keen to avoid gossip even now that it was too late. They wandered idly around the scrappy rust-colored plateau, taking in the view from all angles, standing at the stone column that marked the summit. They made the remarks they were obliged to make in such situations, how far they had walked and how they could see their house from here. The column itself had been scratched with graffiti, private jokes. DG was here, Scotland forever, Thatcher out. We should carve our initials, suggested Dexter weakly. What? Dex for M? Forever. What? Emma sniffed doubtfully and examined the most striking graffiti. A large penis drawn with A large penis drawn with indelible green ink. Imagine climbing all this way just to draw that. Did he bring the pen with him, do you think? It's a lovely view, natural beauty and all that, but what this spot really needs is a massive cock and balls. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. It's just the book. Dexter laughed mechanically, but once again self-consciousness was starting to creep in. Now they were here, it felt like a mistake, and independently they wondered if they should skip the picnic and simply clamber back down and head home. But neither of them was quite prepared to suggest this, and instead they found a hollow a short way from the summit where the rocks seemed to provide some natural furniture, and they settled here and unpacked the rucksack. Dexter popped the champagne, which was warm now and foamed forlornly over his hand and onto the heather. They took it in turns to swig, but there was a little sense of celebration, and after a brief silence, Emma resorted once more to remarking on the view. Very nice. No sign of rain. Say it's Swithin's Day. You said it was. If on Swithin's Day it do rain. Absolutely. No sign of rain. The weather. She was talking about the weather. Embarrassed by her own banality, she lapsed into silence before trying a more direct approach. So how are you feeling, Dex? Bit rough. No, I mean about last night. Me and you? He glanced at her and wondered what he was expected to say. He was wary of a confrontation with no immediate means of escape, save hurling himself from the mountainside. I feel fine. How about you? How are you feeling about last night? Fine. Bit embarrassed, I suppose, harking on like that, about the future. Changing the world and all that. Bit corny in the harsh light of day. Must have sounded corny anyway, especially to someone with no principles or ideals. Hey, I have ideals. Sleeping with 2 women at the same time is not an ideal. Well, you say that, she tutted. You can be really seedy sometimes. Do you know that? I can't help it. Well, you should try. She grabbed a handful of heather and tossed it limply towards him. You're much nicer when you do. Anyway, the point is, I didn't mean to sound like a drip. You didn't. It was interesting, and like I said, I had a really nice time. It's just a shame the timing's not better. He was giving her an annoying little consolatory smile, and she wrinkled her nose in irritation. What, you mean otherwise we'd be boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't know. Who knows? He held out his hand, palm upwards, and she looked at it for a moment with distaste, then sighed and took it resignedly, and they sat there, their hands linked uselessly, feeling idiotic, until their arms got tired and they both let go. The best solution, he decided, was to feign sleep until it was time to go, and with this in mind, he removed his jacket, patted it into a pillow, and closed his eyes against the sun. His body ached, the alcohol pulsed in his head, and he began to feel himself slipping into unconsciousness when she spoke. Can I say something, just to put your mind at rest? Groggily, he opened his eyes. She was sitting with her legs raised to her chest, arms wrapped round them, chin resting on her knees. Go on. She inhaled as if gathering her thoughts, then spoke. I don't want you thinking that I'm bothered or anything. I mean, what happened last night, I knew it was only because you were drunk. Emma, let me finish, will you? But I had a really nice time anyway. I've not done a lot of that kind of thing. I've not made a study of it, not like you. But it was nice. I think you're nice, Dex, when you want to be. And maybe it's just bad timing or whatever, but I think you should head off to China or India or wherever and find yourself. And I'll get on quite happily with things here. I don't want to come with you. I don't want weekly postcards. I don't even want your phone number. I don't want to get married and have your babies either, or even have another fling. We had one really, really nice night together, that's all, and I'll always remember it, and if we bump into each other sometime in the future, at a party or something, then that's fine too. We'll just have a friendly chat. We won't be embarrassed, because you've had your hand down my top, and there'll be no awkwardness, and we'll be whatever, cool about it. Alright? Me and you. We'll just be friends. Agreed? Alright, agreed. Right, that's that then. Now, she reached for her rucksack and fumbled around inside, produced a battered Pentax SLR. What are you doing? What does it look like? Taking a photo, something to remember you by. I look terrible, he said, already adjusting his hair. Don't give me that, you love it. He lit a cigarette for a prop. What do you want a photo for? For when you're famous. She was balancing the camera on a boulder now, framing the shot through the viewfinder. I want to be able to say to my kids, see him there? He once stuck his hand up Mummy's skirt in a crowded room. You started it. No, you started it, pal. She cocked the clockwork timer, scrubbed at her own hair with her fingertips, while Dexter set the cigarette in one side of his mouth and then the other. Right, 30 seconds. Dexter refined his pose. What do we say, cheese? Not cheese. Let's say one night stand. She pressed the button and the camera began to whir. Or promiscuous. She clambered over the rocks. Or thieves that pass in the night. Thieves don't pass in the night. That's ships. What do thieves do? Thieves are thick. What's wrong with just cheese? Let's not say anything. Let's just smile. Look natural. Look young and full of high ideals and hope or something. Ready? Ready. Okay then. Smile. And the end. Thank you for listening. And we have one more chapter. So next stream we're finishing the book. Oh my gosh. That was good. You know, I had to block you. One more? You think I should just do the last one? What time is it? I don't know. It's like, I don't want to say it's long. I just don't think I have the stamina for 2 of that length chapter back to back. Last stream I did for some reason. I was just reading. I was just like non-stop reading. I read 2 chapters and a chapter of Peter Pan and like 2 of my favorite childhood books to y'all. Yeah. I just was really wanting to read that week. Yeah, one more chapter. But I will say, it can wait. Oh. Yeah. No, I will say, I'm down to read the last chapter. Well, it really, like, I can't promise. It really depends on the day and how I'm feeling. But I'm down to read the last chapter and then read the first chapter of our new book. I'm down. Like, in one stream. If I have the energy. Energy. Everything goes back to Schoolhouse Rock. I swear. I swear it does. If you've seen all the songs. Energy. Okay, sorry. Yeah, dude, I'm so excited for our next book. And then I keep saying I'll totally take y'all's book suggestions. I haven't yet because I have so many books I want to read. And this one's fair because we already read the first one, so now I'm like dying to read the second one, and I got it for Christmas. So we're reading that next, but I might. You have too much energy. Give me some. What does that feel like? I have literally. I'm such a contradiction. Such a contradiction. I have all the things I want to do, like all the motivation to do things, but not the energy to match. So I genuinely can't. Like, I will force myself to do things and then pay for it because of how much energy I spent that I didn't have anyway. What does it feel like? Crazy. Speaking of, I did start a new thing. It's more of a drawing than a painting. But, like, it's got paint on it. But, like, look at her. Look at her. It's a dragon. She's massive. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. Like, it's literally turning out so good. The freaking line work, I'm very proud of. I filled the sky. I did fill the sky. I not only filled the sky, I lined her little thingies and got the black around them. I had to do 3 coats of black for it to be solid black. So I had to do all this lining, edging, if you will. It is like edging, like if you're a painter, you know what that is. Not the other kind. Anyway, had to do that like 3 times around all this stuff. But it's fun, no? I love it. When it's colored, it's gonna be even better. She's so massive. She's the biggest dragon ever. I really like it. Her name is Mim. You can shut up. It's a thing. It's like doing the more precise areas, like around door frames is edging, and isn't it? Am I wrong? You're messing with me. Okay, I'm not a painter, but I have Dad. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have had 4 siblings and my father be painters, and currently 2 or 3 are still. So I know just a touch, just a little. I think I already knew that before they were all painters, but I've only painted something like, I went to Haiti and painted houses. That was pretty cool. I helped this lady wash her laundry. That was really nice. We gave away baby goats. They loved that. So they could sell their milk and stuff. Haiti. Sock passe. I wish I remember how to say no. You're just my friend. I'm not your wife. I got proposed. Me and my sisters. I don't remember. I know my mom got proposed to when we went. So, So we went on this trip, and it was with like a whole group of people, and my mom and me and 2 of my sisters went. all together. And I know my mom got proposed to once. This dude was like obsessed with her, dude. And then I got proposed to like 3 times, I think. And my sister straight up got like, that part was creepy. That was weird. She got like stuck alone in a room with a guy. It was like the guy, but she had like a little kid with her, because we were all playing with kids at like a playground or something. And she like, I forgot why her and the kid went inside for something. They had to get something. And this dude like followed her in there and like shut the door. So it was like just them. And like it was only for like a minute. But I knew straight away that she was gone, and I was like, where's she at? Like, what's going on? So we found her really fast. It was just like, what? Like he was like trying to be like, you're my girlfriend? She's like, no. Anyway, no, it was a fun trip. It was kind of like, I almost had a stepdad. Oh gosh, that guy was crazy, dude. He was just like openly talking about how sexy mom is and stuff, and I was like, is he talking about my mom? Anyway, that like had her cracking up, but it was a good trip. Like it was fun. It was, because we did have a good time with all the people there, but like it's very eye-opening at the same time. Like it's like fun, but then crazy surreal. And then we went to their church, and it was awesome. It was so cool. Like I did not know the words, but I could feel the spirit in the music. It was awesome. I loved it. Anyway, you don't have to know the words to sing to something. Like I was still singing with them. I just didn't know the words. But it was like crazy surreal. I don't know, cause we're a bunch of greedy hoes over here, guys. That's all. Yeah, like I go like 5 hours without air conditioning, and I feel like I'm gonna die, and that's very dramatic. We Americans, I don't know, we in the not third world countries, or the countries that get hit by tsunamis all the time and can't, they're in so much, I haven't seen them since that trip, but like just they're living with the absolute minimum you need to live off of. Like it's like, and they're not ungrateful. They're like grateful for what they have. And to us, if I had the equivalent, I would not be grateful. I'd be like, I'm suffering, why me? And I'm feeling like a victim every day. They're not feeling like victims. It's insane when they're absolutely like, I just had so much freaking respect. That's all. Because I knew what we were getting into. Like, I knew what to expect. I just didn't expect that they were going to have, like, the most positive outlook on everything. Like, I was like, you know, it's actually worse than what I was expecting that y'all are living in, but you're thriving and content and, like, nice people, really, really positive, nice people. And I was like, you're really, like, making me want to be better, dude. And, like, obviously I'm not going to give up my AC or, like, hot water or whatever, but, like, or, like, the fact that I don't have to walk 4 miles every day just to get water. Yeah, I mean, but I'm not going to forget all that. I'm going to, like, try to remember more to, like, thank God for what I have and stuff, and like not take it for granted. Hard not to, but I don't know. That was a whole blessing of a trip. I'm very glad I went, because I know that we didn't make like a crazy big impact on those people. Like we didn't change their lives or like make everything better at all. Like I mean we painted a couple houses and gave them some goats. And I mean, it was really nice to, like, just sit and have community with them and stuff. Like, I'm sure they remember us, but, like, I feel like that trip did more for me than it did for those people in the end. I feel like I'm sounding like a brat. I'm not trying to. I'm actually just like thinking about the way that that trip like changed all my thinking on everything. I don't know. Anyway, clean water, yeah, even in America. That's true. Okay, you're right. Okay, yeah, you're right. It's not general to all Americans, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, they're cool ass people. That's all. They were cool. I just remember how to say what's up. I don't remember the rest that I learned. That was years ago. But we were saying what's up a lot, so I tried because they speak Creole. So that's like a oh, we got a new member. Oh, they speak Creole, and I took French in high school. So I like tried to like use some of my basic conversation stuff with French. They were making fun of me, and I was like, obviously I know you don't speak French. I'm just like, I know you understand me. Like they did. Like I was like, comment tu t'appelles and quel âge as-tu? And I know they could like, they were like laughing at me for like trying to talk to them. And I was like, I mean, it's a start. It's better than English. I don't know. Bonjour. Bonjour. They say like bonjour. I remember that. But yeah, I just said sac passe all the time. That's what's up. And then they taught the girls. They were like, it's gonna be really helpful if you go ahead and memorize how to say, no, you're just my friend. And they were right. But I don't remember how to say that. But yeah. I think the last chapter is gonna be him spending time with his daughter. That's my prediction, but I don't know yet. I think, well, the way they did it in the show, I just know like him and his daughter end up hiking up that mountain and talking about Emma a little. So I don't know. It's like a fairly, it's not a short chapter, so we'll see. Weird that he's dating the girl from the cafe. That's new. That's different. Was not expecting that one. Remembering. It's so sad. I'm actually so excited for our next book. Yeah, because Oscar went, like, was I in the middle of this book when you started watching? I don't remember. I mean, like, started hanging out during these streams. I don't remember, like, when. Yeah, okay. So you don't even know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about this next book. It's so good. Then I binged. Yeah, you did. Putting people on good shit. One at a time. Yeah, dude, I'm so happy you watched that. Hey guys, if you like the book, you probably don't at this point because we are at the end, but if you are intrigued by the book, they did make a freaking kick-ass Netflix show, excuse me, but it is. And if you're not into long commitments, it's a 13 episode show, so just go watch it. You know, it literally will take you like the week, maybe. And then you'll be like, oh my gosh, Sunny, I totally watched that show. And like, you'll see. I'm so glad I listened to you. Yeah. Anyway, it's really good. That's why I wanted to read this book with y'all, because I knew. But no. So you don't even know. The book we read before this is like completely different. It's so cute. It's like so cute. It's like way more lighthearted, and it's still real though, but it's like sophisticated animals or civilized animals, and their little adventures. So cute. It's so cute. So I grew up on this, but we read the first one, and then I actually got the second one for Christmas. I think I already said that. But, so since reading the first one, I was like, I can't wait to read the second one, because if it's anything like the first one, it's The first one's called The Wind in the Willows. The second one is called The Willows in Winter. Even though it was winter time during part of the first book. Anyway, I'm excited. And I know if any of y'all listened to The Wind in the Willows when I read it, the way that Toad is always obsessed with something new. He's got like a new mania. Wait. I literally forgot if that's the right word. He's got something going on. The first book, he was obsessed with little, what are those called? It's not a caravan. It's like the old-fashioned version of a camper. A horse-drawn camper. That's what he was obsessed with first. And then it went from that to... Oh, I think it went from something to that actually first, but I don't even know what, if it was like steamboats or trains. And then it went to the horse-drawn camper. And then he spots a motor car, and it passes by him, and he smells the fumes of it, and he's instantly like hooked on that now. Couldn't give a fuck about the horse-drawn carriage. So it's like that with Toad. He's like obsessed, and then he's like, never mind, obsessed with this now. Never mind, I'm obsessed. I know in this next one he's gonna end up being obsessed with airplanes, which is so much scarier than the automobile. But yeah, that's all I know. I literally know nothing else that happens in this one. So, but like all I have to base it off of is this like really old. I'm so out of breath. Planes are dope. Planes are scary. These are like old-fashioned, like one dude's in the front, one dude's in the back planes with the canvas wings, and they like. Anyway, I don't know what I'm doing. And they have to wear like goggles and helmets, and like, yeah, it's great. It's really old. Like, I don't remember when the book was written, but it was definitely in the early 1900s, maybe? Like, that's when Peter Pan was written, so I really have a feeling they're pretty close together. But, just the way everyone dresses and talks in it and stuff. It's so good. All I have to go off of it, though, is, this VHS that we owned when I was a kid. We didn't even own The Wind in the Willows. We only owned The Willows in Winter. So, this is all I have to go off of when I'm thinking of Wind in the Willows. I just have this one VHS we owned that was, like, really old, and, like, the illustrations were, or animations were, like, old, like, watercolor, hand-drawn, pretty, soft, that kind of, but the humans look creepy as hell. You get me. Like, if you saw it, you'd be like, oh, yeah. That's exactly what she was talking about. Anyway, that's all I have to go off of it. So I know he gets obsessed with airplanes, but I don't know anything else. And I don't remember anything that happens in the movie. I think something gets burnt down, like a house, but I don't remember how. Somehow I watched that like a million times, and I don't remember details, but... Dumbo. I want to rewatch Dumbo because all I remember is the Baby Mine, Don't You Cry song. Nothing else. I know that there's like hella racism in Dumbo, but like, it's a sweet, touching movie, I thought. No, okay, so you have to like muscle your way around the animal abuse and the racism, and then you get these very tender, maybe 3 scenes in the whole movie between him and his mom, and that makes up for all of it. No, it doesn't, but I do want to watch it just for the 2 moments he has with his mom. I could just do a YouTube compilation just to watch those. Yeah, that part when he's like hallucinating. Oh, he gets drunk, right? Oh my gosh, I just had like a dude. Yeah, that's what I was talking about with the racism. It's so plainly, blatantly obvious. Oh my gosh, no shame. They were not trying to hide that junk. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Peter Pan was racist. Whoa. That's also why I don't like the Disney Peter Pan movie. But Pinocchio freaked me out with the donkey kids. And the fact that he's like being held in that cage thing against his will felt really wrong as a 7-year-old. And then there's another, Aristocats had a racist moment. Lady and the Tramp had a racist moment. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it felt wrong. Like, not just that he was being held against his will, it was like, he's a child. You're a grown man. Why are you... Just felt icky. It's just bad. It doesn't feel right. Even as a 5-year-old, you're like... Or I was like, I don't like that. But the donkeys bit was freaky as hell, dude. Oh, yeah, because they're sending them off to an island. Yeah. Yeah. Little Boy Island. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. That's really bad. Yeah, I don't like that. How did they even, like, come up with that story? Was that, like, an ancient Little Mermaid type, Hansel and Gretel story? Or did they come up with that from the drawing board? Yeah. I love that you're just, like, saying it so I don't have to. I'm not gonna say that stuff out loud, but it's so true. The correlation. Don't be stupid. No. Genuinely though, how anyone that doesn't put that stuff together immediately is like, you're blind. Okay, I'm sorry, you were blind. Yeah, Aristocats had a moment. That was rough. Oh, Lady and the Tramp, I was gonna say, had the same moment there with the cats. It's not a coincidence. No. No. It pisses me off that I smile when I'm uncomfortable and I laugh when I'm angry. Because it does, if I think about it for too long, I'll just start crying. Okay, so it's weird, because now I'm thinking about it. It's like, I don't like how I am. I do, but I don't like that my initial reaction and response is, it might make it seem to someone else that doesn't know me that I'm making light of that topic or that type of experience or that thing, when I'm really not. I'm very angry and uncomfortable, and I just full of like, it feels like the longer that I think about it, it feels like, genuinely, I've never tried to explain this, it feels physically like my heart, here's your visual, my heart is like shrinking up, like, that's how it feels. If I think about it for longer, like, I get through the smiling and laughing stage, and it gets to crying, and I'm just angry. And it gets, like, harder to breathe. But I don't like that my initial response is to smile when it comes to anything, like, especially abuse. But any type of abuse, like child abuse, animal abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, domestic abuse, like all the abuse, I always start with smiling. But that makes me the angriest. And then you get on to more specific things like that, and racism, and Epstein, and children. and all kinds of dark things and really heavy things, and I'm just like, especially when I'm seeing myself smiling, it's like, I don't know which is worse actually, because when I talk to someone about it and they seem like they're getting more upset, I wonder if it's like, I catch myself, I'm like, am I smiling? Are they mad that I'm smiling about this? But like now, I was only smiling for a second, and because like I can see myself, I was like, man, I hate that. Why am I smiling right now? Like, I just get like angrier. Nah, I don't know. I get it. Nothing is, yeah, genuinely, like, we're all angry about it. What's the first steps to acting on that? You know? What, how do we all come together and change things? Is there any way to do that? Or do we just stew in our anger and get angrier and angrier and, like, make more and more people aware of it? That's a step. Maybe. Yeah, making people aware. Holding each other accountable for, not that one of us has an island of lost boys, but like, I don't know, it starts small. You catch someone acting out, or you catch something that's not part of their character thought. I don't know, we're just like, don't brush that junk off. Like, talk to them about it. Like, hold each other accountable and, like, be there for each other and help each other be better every day. And then we just gotta get rid of the pedophiles. We just gotta get them out. I don't know how to do that. Like, why are we more focused on people that are innocent and have no criminal records? Why are we more focused on them to clean up the country than we are of actual abusers and offenders that are getting off, like, almost totally clean, like, totally free? And I'm like, what? Well, hello there. It sure has been a while. I'm so sorry. How are you? Pull them. Yes, but also just get them out of here. Like, get them away. But, like, get them away from everyone. Like, if you're gonna use El Salvador, use it for them. They actually have offenses on their records and things they've done to, like, long-term harm people. Long-term. Even if they go to El Salvador, those people are still affected till the day they die. I'll have you know. If you think you can't heal from trauma, like, in the sense that you can't get rid of your trauma, you can, like, heal so that it doesn't feel like it's affecting you as badly every day, but it's still there. Okay? So when you traumatize someone, think about that. I know they're not thinking about that, but, like, if you consider the fact that they will never heal from that, it will never leave them, and you caused that, you should be angry. You should hate the idea of doing that to someone so much that you could never even consider doing something like that to someone. Like, that's all it takes. And I know that everyone feels differently and thinks differently, and our brains are all different from each other, but if you don't feel that way, I don't know. Like, to me, I'm getting red in the face. I'm sorry. It's, like, really hot. To me, for me, naturally, I've always, like, I can't help but care about everyone that I think about. Like, even people I've never met. You know, so things make me cry, even when it's fictional. And the thought of people dying and getting hurt really makes me upset. Even though I've never met them, I can't help it. Like, I just have to think about not just how that would feel if I was them, but, like, I have to think about how they're feeling. You know, I naturally put my feelings to the side, and I know that can be bad in some cases, but, like, I do naturally do that. I put my feelings to the side when I'm thinking of others' feelings. Like it always comes first. So even if I would get some type of, I don't know, something out of hurting someone, I first have to think about, no, I'd be hurting someone. That's not worth it. If it takes that to get something I think I want, I shouldn't be wanting that. And now my dog is barking. Anyway, sorry, big angry rant. Why are you barking? He's not gonna tell me. He just wants to go outside. It's probably like a biker. It's probably a biker. He hates them. Anyway, that was a big angry rant. I'm sorry, I didn't plan that one, but Dumbo. All because I said I want to watch Dumbo again. I just want to watch that one scene when she's swinging him in her trunk and they can't even hug each other because she's locked up and he's crying. Thank you. Okay. Like, it's not gonna do anything. I don't know. I don't know. It's just another white girl having an angry tantrum about how bad the world is. But it is. And we all need to be this mad. That's all. That's what I think. I don't know. And it's not healthy to live in anger. But if no one is this angry about it, nothing's gonna change. I'm not constantly yelling and thinking about it and dwelling on it, but when I do think about it, I get so angry. That's my drive to be a good person. I don't have to always be yelling about it, but I am always angry about it. And that's enough to keep me, I don't know. I mean, it's not just that, but that's like a big reason why I would never, I hope I never am the cause of someone's trauma. Oh, that would be awful. I just wouldn't know how to, like, I genuinely wouldn't know how to live after finding that out. Or after doing something like that. I don't, how do you continue to be okay with yourself as a person? I don't know. The only conclusion I can find is that you must be not a real person. Like you're sick, you know? Or like twisted. One or the other, or both. Or you have a really weird sense of reality. It could be all kinds of things, but all of them are like, you're not okay. Yeah. Because I can't think of any, like, how could you be okay after doing something like that to someone? Anyway, I should be a therapist. No, I really shouldn't. Oh my gosh. I've actually been told that because I love listening to people. And I'm like, no, I would be telling people they're messed up in the head all the time. No, I wouldn't. But it would be really hard. I'd be like, this one patient is pretty concerning. No, I couldn't. This is not good. I need to return this. I liked it. I really liked it. I like the buttons. I'm gonna get a reduction. It's just this, it's the gaping in between the buttons. Why does it do that? It's not just this one, by the way. It's between every single button of this dress when I sit down and gapes. Why? The dress, it gapes. Like if I'm not, I'm sitting at, like y'all can't tell. This is a very strategic angle right now. I bought this Saturday and I was just testing it out. Because there was one time when I went to the office in a new dress before I had tried it on, like, actually, like, sat down, did all the stuff in it. It's very comfortable. I'm just not comfy because I feel like someone's gonna walk up to my desk and I'm gonna, like, give them something to I Spy or something, you know, I don't know. So that's not comfy. But now, one time I did that with a new dress, and I took it back to the store from work that day. How did I do that? Did I have an outfit with me? I might have been going to my family's house after. Anyway, I instantly returned it because it's just like, I fully know that if it has any slight inconvenience like that, like I always have to be aware and adjusting myself. I know that even if I think it's fabulous on me, I'm never gonna go to like pull that dress out again. I'm never gonna like reach for that to wear again. So I might as well just go ahead and return it. Yeah. I got a little smarter recently. I have quite a few dresses I can't return, which sucks, but now I know. I'm like, within the first couple weeks, I'm like, yeah, we don't need it, actually. Because I'm really bad. I'm really bad with shopping where I, like, want to buy everything. Like, I try everything on, and even if I'm not in love with it, if it fits good and it's comfy, I want to buy everything. So, it's hard for me to, like, have the self-control. So I don't buy everything. I narrow it down. But I buy a few things that I probably shouldn't. And then within a month, I take back like 3 out of 4 of the things I bought. I always do this. And I'm sure they're sick of me, but they know when I come back to return those things, I'm going to find a couple more things to buy. And it's like this cycle. Like I'm always going to come back to return shit and buy new shit. And it works. That's what we do. Yeah. It's probably not healthy, but I just don't care. And I did get better with it. I used to buy like hauls. Okay, like every month and a half. Got way better. Like I haven't done that in a while. Like a while. And we're finally I filmed the last 4 trying on new dresses videos. And I think it's like 8 dresses a video, and we finally caught up. Like, I don't have any more new dresses to make videos for. But I'm stocked up. I've got 4 new videos to post. They're like all ready to go. Because I just was sick of it. Like, I don't even like doing those videos that much. They're like exhausting. I think it's fun to like show people my style, I guess. Because it has gotten a lot more, I've like gotten a lot more precise with like what I like wearing. So my wardrobe is like a lot more options that I actually want to wear, which is nice. So it is fun to show off, but it's like, it takes forever. And you have to, I got really strategic this time. Okay, so you have to try on, you don't have to, but I would model the dress with the shoes I would wear with that dress and the jewelry. And it's like always hot. Like the best place to film for me is my porch. So I have to go in and out and change into the next dress, change into the new shoes, change into the new jewelry each time. And this is, what did I say, 4 times 8? I can't do math, you know, because 24, 32. Whoa, yeah. So 32 dresses in a day with all that other stuff added. Anyway, it's a lot. It's exhausting, and I have vertigo and hot flashes, which is like the worst, and back pain, but like the hot flashes and the vertigo because I'm constantly stooping down in front of the camera, standing up, spinning around, stooping back down, going to change. Wow. Yeah, it like if I don't have a dizzy spell by the middle of it, that's a shocker. Anyway, yeah. So I just decided, fuck this, kind of. I just want to be stocked up. Sound like grandma. Yeah. I keep telling y'all. No, I tell my family. I've been telling my family for years now, like, just treat me like an 80-year-old woman because I basically feel like one. With all the joint pain and the narcolepsy and the heat flashes and the shortness of breath and the vertigo and the memory loss. I genuinely, I think I'm an old lady. I think this is what it feels like to be an old lady. Except for the fact that I have absolutely beautiful hair, and obviously I I look young. Okay, but like, I feel like an old lady. Okay, yeah, I just decided screw it. So I filmed all of the last few videos in one day. Got it knocked out and done. Looked great in it and all that. I think I did it between 2 days, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, 2 days. Okay, I did 2 days. That's pretty cool. Anyway, that way I don't have to film another one for like at least a year, maybe like 9 months. And by then I'll have more dresses, I'm sure, but like, I mean, I already have bought. What about that orange one? Anyway, yeah, sounds like all cute. But yeah, also I just keep thrifting and I bought that lamp. The lamp, it's so cute. I think, I don't know actually. Let me see. I don't know if this is the right gray. Honestly, it's not that bad. I'm kind of chilling. Close to my heart, never too far. I need to watch. Anyway, yeah, sorry, I just got distracted. This is gonna look so good when it's done. I think the yeah, that looks fine. The problem is, like, these are the absolute freaking best, right? But, because I love working, excuse me, I love working with acrylic paint, and I just think for some drawings, like, this is insanely I'm gonna have to be really precise. I just think real paint is a lot harder to work with, so I was like, there's gotta be, like, a marker pen option for acrylic paint, and I was right. And I tracked these bad boys down, and they're really nice. But the biggest pack I could find is 60 colors. So it's not always gonna be like insanely exactly the right shade of the right color you need. That's the only problem. But I think I found, like, I worked with these. I think these are the colors we need, and it'll be all right. It'll look like a little different. Like the real picture is a little more I still don't know if muted is the right word, but it's like darker, more subtle. It's not as bright shades. That's all I'm trying to say. So, anywho's, I should go. I think I'm gonna work on this. And tomorrow, yeah, sorry. So tomorrow, I really should script things. I'm never gonna script things. I don't like that. Oh, I guess I'm not wearing this tomorrow. Shoot. This was what I picked out for tomorrow, but it's fine. Okay. I am going to do, okay, so I'm getting tired. So if you're not part of my Discord server, please join, because we do, not only because I post updates on when I'm going live again, but we do Discord only things there. So can't do them if you're not there. So tomorrow I'm doing a movie night with my Discord people. So if you want to watch my favorite movie in the world, then join our Discord and join us tomorrow night. Oh, it's such a good movie. Anyway, I'm so excited. Yes, and I think the next movie night after that we're gonna do Hook. And we also do a Discord. We also do a Discord only read aloud. Right now we're in the middle of The Hobbit, and it's really fun to read. I need to do them again. I mean, I need to do them more regularly, but anyway, that's another thing. I had a bot that would post a question of the day for us, but it stopped doing that, so I do need to get that figured out. But once that's fixed, we have a question of the day too, which is really fun. But it is. I miss that bot. But yeah, join my Discord. And I think that's all. Oh. I definitely want to do another painting stream soon too, but I finished. Oh, it's over there. I'll show you next time. That's fine. Okay, cool. Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I like you guys too much. I gotta hang up. Yeah. Other than that, I really love you guys, and thanks for hanging out with me and listening to the story. Next Read Aloud stream, we do only have one more chapter, and then we're gonna start. We'll probably do 2 chapters in one, so we can start our new book. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah. So yeah. That's all. Love you guys. Thanks again. Everybody stay safe. I think that's all. Bye.